In 2019, a young New York City woman was found hanging in her walk-in closet in her Manhattan apartment, and the ME labeled it a suicide. Her remains were handed over to her family, but the funeral director they enlisted sent those remains back to the coroner's office after noticing bruises that were, quote, significant and troubling. So the ME did an autopsy and then promptly doubled down on the original conclusion: suicide. Like Ellen Greenberg, Sonam Kshatriya was 27 years old, and like Ellen, she has parents who will never believe that she took her own life and who've spent years fighting in the courts to have their death investigated by the police. In a minute, you're going to meet their attorney, who also represents Ellen Greenberg's parents, Josh and Sandy. But first, I want to walk you through some red flags that the family can't get past, and you might not be able to either, because I know I can't. Let's begin with the person who found Sonam's body. He was an ex-boyfriend named Luke Kareem Matthew. He's a competitive jiu-jitsu fighter, and the family's investigation found that he has 7 prior arrests. He and Sonam broke up months before her death, but just 2 days before her alleged suicide, he texted her suggesting that they watch a UFC fight together. That was on Saturday, September 14th, 2019. The ex-boyfriend claims that he left the next morning on Sunday at 7 a.m., but then says he came back on Monday to walk the dog that the two apparently shared. He says that Monday is when he found Sonam's body hanging in the closet. Here's the problem. Sonam was seen on surveillance video on that previous Saturday, 2 days earlier, wearing the exact same clothes that she was found in when she was dead. Again, 2 days later, wearing the same clothes. And there's more. Luke Kareem Matthew, the ex-boyfriend, told the police that the 911 operator instructed him to cut Sonam down because she was hanging. But we got our hands on the recording of that 911 call, and that is definitely not what he was told. Listen for yourself.
What's your apartment number? 30. What floor you live on? Your apartment number is 30? Sir, listen to me. I'm not understanding anything you're saying. You have to talk clearly. Please, she's not breathing. Hurry up.
I don't hear them saying cut her down, but he insisted that they told him to. I should note that Sonam's ex is not charged or suspected of any crime in connection with Sonam's death. Nobody is. But should somebody be? The crime scene, believe it or not, even though it was a hanging, was bloody, dripping with blood, in fact. But no blood was found on Sonam's hands. So how does that work? If she's going to hang herself and there's blood everywhere, how does it somehow get off of her hands? Investigators also noticed rigor mortis had set in, but they never explained why her arm and her legs were bent. Because, you know, if she'd hanged herself hours earlier, everything would be in a straight line. Still no official change, though, in the suicide finding. And that brings me back to Joseph Podraza. He is the attorney for Sonam's parents, but he also represents Ellen Greenberg's family, and he's here with me live. It's good to have you, Mr. Podraza. Thanks so much for being here. First question, where does Sonam's case stand right now as we speak?
Well, Ashley, we are at the highest court in New York State asking for the court to review the matter and to assist in ordering that an investigation be done and a more thorough investigation be done than what's been done in this case. And we're waiting for that court to decide whether they will take the matter up or not.
So the blood was a total shock to me when I found out about it, because I thought in a hanging, you don't usually have a bloody crime scene. Well, I can't even say it's a crime scene right now, but you don't usually have a bloody scene. And yet there's lots of blood in the photos, and there's none of it on Sonam's hands. How did the medical examiner explain that conundrum?
Well, they actually don't. And their only explanation that they put forth is that, well, maybe when the emergency personnel showed up on Monday after the call was made to 911, maybe they were so sloppy that they spread the blood around on the apparatus or the rope that was used for the hanging. The blood that is outside of the scene that cannot be explained from the hanging, they have no explanation for. And that leaves us then in the quandary when you have these problems, you can't call this a suicide. What you need to do is more investigation to figure out what happened here.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.